All right, we're live.
Yeah. Good morning.
Not yet. People are just coming in. I see Matt Harrison at Etwell down under.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Ryan Fechner, also from Network Optix. Hey everybody, welcome to the Works with Nx webinar. Today we're going to be looking at Senturian solutions, Genesis. An advanced video analytic will let you do things like search for backpacks and see who's doing proper social distancing. So while we're waiting on everybody to join, it's going to be a few minutes. So we'll probably get started about 2 or 3 minutes after the hour. So in the meantime, Sean and I will chit chat to keep you entertained. Sean, you're in Shanghai.
No, I'm in Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah. But I'm going to live stream over to the other side.
Gotcha. 26.
So how's everything in the US? When are you going to finish the lockdown?
The US is trying to be number one at COVID, apparently. So not great. We could be doing a lot better.
Wow, I see a lot of familiar faces inside. Yeah, a lot of people from, I know.
So just like always, everybody, we'll have the question and answers you guys can ask throughout the presentation. I'll be watching those and bothering Sean as questions come in. If I don't get to your question right away, we'll ask it at the end during the Q&A section. But feel free to ask questions whenever you have them. The chat is open as well. Feel free to say hi to everyone. In general, try and put your questions and answers in the Q&A section, which is, you should be able to find it on your Zoom window down at the bottom where it says Q&A. So what time is it right now? It's 7:02 p.m. in College Station, Texas, which is where I am at the moment. What time is it over there, Sean?
It's 8:02. I think
8:02 a.m.
Yeah, I think it's just nice.
We made Sean get up early.
Yeah, it's fine. I get up early every day. Yesterday I was up at 6 a.m. speaking to our friends from New Zealand. So yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah. Learning from you, Mr. Luz.
We got a few more attendees coming in, so we'll give it another minute. So you got your translate icon. What is that down there?
Oh, that's an English and Chinese translator that I use. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's Sogo.
Sogo.
Translator. Yeah, Sogo.
All right. Well, Sean, I think we're all right to go ahead and get started. Anybody else who's joining us can catch up, because I think at first you're going to tell a little bit about your company again, just for anybody who's unfamiliar.
I think, yeah, I'm just going to touch base very fast and just go through. Try not to make it too boring for everybody, so I just want to keep on talking on the PPT. But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So welcome to the webinar. Always glad to do a webinar with Nx. A little bit about our company, Senturian Solutions. We are a Singaporean company founded in 2012. We've been around for 8 years. We started out as doing security software for cameras, and now we are into artificial intelligence for the last few years. We are working with Nx in 22 over cities all around the world, and we are still growing. So we are very excited to show you what we have today. Sorry.
I have a question. Sorry, go back one.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get that photo done?
This photo? No, it's just it's done by our marketing team. It's just like 1 minute, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's Alex and Christine, yeah, from our global office behind there, yeah. So today I want to talk just about Senturian Genesis and something new that we have uploaded in the Genesis. I believe from my other presentations, you all know Genesis is a search engine. It does object classifications through video, so you can find all sorts of crazy items like backpack cars, mobile phones, and up to 50 different kind of items. But today I'm going to show you something that we've uploaded in the Genesis software. It's called the Senturian Data Library. That means you have now a crazy search bar right inside Nx, which you can use totally embedded to do so much new stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you today. I know I'm supposed to talk about social distancing today, so I'll just talk about it in the front, and behind I'll just show you the data library. Okay, so Genesis, you can search for over 50 different items. All the items you see is here. What we do in the Genesis is everything gets thrown into your Nx system, and you just need to click what you want here. Okay, once you click it here, all your cameras are enabled with all these items, and you're searching, and all the archive will go inside to the metadata list in the recording in Nx. How it works, we'll show you later. But now, before I start on that, I just want to go to show you how we do social distancing with the Genesis item search. Okay, because if you can see here, we can do people, and so we have just customized a people zone here. For example, I have a car park here, and I can draw 8 unique zones per video. So let's say this is the camera I have. I draw 8 zones here, and I indicate that every zone I have to have more than 1 person in the zone before the alarm comes out. So when you see 2 people walking in any square here, the alarm comes out. But of course, you can include all sorts of items here, you know, like backpack cars and multiple criteria in any zones is fine. So you can have 6 zones of all different stuff, is totally fine. But for social distancing, especially some projects we did earlier in China where the virus started, we have used this method to do very accurate social distancing alarms by 2 meters, 2.5, 3 meters. Depends on on your requirements. You can do the settings. Okay, so when you set that alarm, this is how it's going to look. Okay, so 6 alarms going. Each zone is dedicated to about 2 meters distance. So 1.5 to 2 meters. So when this guy, you see, steps 1 step closer to that guy, the alarm will pop up on the right, because we have linked it to show notifications on Nx. Okay, so 6 zones you can draw here, like I showed you just now, but actually you can go all the way to 8 zones. So now you get a better picture. I come back to here, you see the way I draw the square boxes are all about a 2 meter distance. You can do an estimation yourself. Another good example is that I set it here in a shopping mall with 8 different zones in the 2 paths here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all with 2 people or more at a distance. And then this is the effect of it. When 2 people comes together, you see the alarm comes out on the right here. So they have to keep a safe close distance when walking past the zone. If a single person, sorry, yeah.
I have a question, Sean. So, in the configuration interface for that, right?
Yep.
That is done in the web-based interface for Genesis. Is that right?
That is the web-based interface.
And the distance that you say, like 1.5 or 2 meters, so you're estimating it based off the camera view?
Yes, you're estimating based on the zone that you draw. This is configurable, right? The zone. You can draw a big zone or a small zone, up to you.
So how do you know the size of that zone when you draw it? Is it just estimated?
Yeah, you got to base on estimate. That's the SI's job to estimate that. You
So
can
they
do
could
it.
estimate it based off of like objects that they see in the
Yes,
view,
precisely.
or they could maybe
Precisely.
take a tape measure and then go
Yeah.
stand in the view and like actually measure it out.
Yeah, they'll just have two people standing there, and then they get on the side, and they will just draw the box around these two people, and then it's done. So that's how they estimate it.
Yeah, so Genesis is recognizing people, and then it's also recognizing that there's more than one person in that particular zone.
Precisely. So you can do 3 people, 4 people, or even not even people. You can do items like 2 bags, 2 cars, different criteria. But for social distancing, we do it with people, right? Because social distancing is all about people. So once you do that, you can set the alarm into NS. It will pop out on the right here. See, there's this guy tailgating that lady. So that's where the alarm pops up. And
this is for live alarms.
This is for live alarms, and you see it's popping up here. And if you go back to see the earlier video I did, you can even select the acknowledgement in Nx there. So when someone breached the social distancing, the guard or the guard or the video manager can click there and see who is doing that social distance. You get what I mean? So you can
force you can do a bookmark based off of that event and then force acknowledgement by an operator.
Yeah, I see. You see here, acknowledgement, right? Yeah. So you can do that on acknowledgement, and then this bookmark will stay here until somebody clicks it. So
that's for live video, right?
Yeah, that's for live.
Can I go back through a camera and search based off of like let's say I know that somebody got COVID, right? And I want to go back through my archive and look for when that person might have interacted with other people.
Yeah, so what you do is when the alarm goes in, you will connect the alarm to the recording, usually to a bookmark, right? You say this is COVID, right? And then if you want to go a step further to say who is having this COVID, right? You have a facial recognition system here, and you just click on the meta. You can go in and see whether the face is recognized, and you catch his face. So
if you have facial recognition activated, then you could potentially do like a historical search to see what other people that person has interacted with.
Precisely.
But can you narrow it down based off of the distance in that case, or would it be more of a general search?
It'd be more of a general search for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be more a general search for now. But in the future, we might actually put these two outputs together, because we're actually doing social distancing with a temperature monitoring system now. But I'll release it soon, and the information will all be on the right. So that'll be, it can be done that way also. Yeah, with face recognition. Yep. So we did another thing in the office here. It's called a no mask detection, because based on popular demand. So it's pretty straightforward, actually. You see, everyone have masks coming. When someone doesn't have a mask, it will alert. So our colleague Sasha has no mask, it will alert there in Nx. And same, it can goes down into the bookmarks. It can goes into the meta records, and you can actually check the face recognition from there as well. Okay, so this is something that is out, and we will show it later on when we run it more robustly in a real shopping mall or something. All right, so just showing you what the new stuff we are going to throw out there very soon. Yeah. So okay, so if that is done, I will jump into the library. Do you have any questions on that? That intrusion function that you see in the Genesis, before I jump into the library.
With the facial recognition, there was a question about like a report.
Yeah.
So inside of Genesis, can you run a report to show who else has been near that person in Genesis?
Yes, we can. We have a report from the facial recognition in the GUI. You can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I will leave that to our technology partner Iron Yin tomorrow to talk more about what's inside that GUI.
Okay.
Because yeah, of course, I think Paul is going to talk more in depth in that. So
Genesis Genesis is based off of Iron Yun's technology, right?
Yeah, we share the search engine and the algorithms.
Gotcha.
In many different countries. Yeah. So I will leave Paul to talk about that, and I will talk more of the data library that we are going to put inside Nx today. Yeah. Right. So please feel free to go in tomorrow to Ian's webinar. I think it's Thursday, right? If I'm not wrong. To see more of the facial recognition, more of the intrusion, and also more of the search functions in that they will show you an in-depth search of all this, and they'll talk more on LPR. All right. So they are our good technology partners. So we are the same. So yeah, please
So
go ahead and take a
Senturian data library is integrated with powered by NX products using the metadata SDK, right? So.
Yep.
So basically, is there any configuration that needs to be set up, or is it just a plugin installation?
It's a plugin installation,
Okay.
and there is a configuration that you need to set up. I will explain to you very shortly. Yep. How is it done? Okay. So
sorry. One other question from Matt Harrison, which was and this is something maybe you want to leave for Iron Man, but can you search for guns?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Guns are inside already. Yeah, it is inside. Yeah. Okay. Guns is inside. Rifles, guns, handguns, all is inside. Yeah. And we can actually search for it in the type bar in the data library. So it's all inside there. Okay. Let me explain to you. Okay. Any questions on that before I go on to this to tell you how I'm going to run, how this new library is going to run. There are some different configurations that we need to set up for here. Okay, so Justin has a question.
The next slide goes over the metadata SDK a little bit, just to refresh everybody's idea on what the metadata SDK allows you to do. So you want to go to the next slide?
All right. Let me just.
There you go. So you can see, just to make sure everybody's 100% clear, metadata SDK allows you to pull streams from any powered by Nx products like Nx Witness VMS, and that allows the analytic solution like Senturian Genesis or Senturian Neurolytics to get individual frames from network Optix servers, the Nx server application, and then analyze those frames. One important thing about getting the frames is that you can get the frames uncompressed or compressed in whatever format you need as an analytics provider. And that allows you to really optimize how much processing power you're using. So you can really optimize your engine to make sure that you're not analyzing video that doesn't need to be analyzed. And once you've analyzed a frame or frames of video, you can then return objects that you've kind of recognized and their associated metadata, which Sean is talking about right now with the metadata library. And then you basically send that information back to the NX server. The NX server is going to store it in a proprietary database, which makes it accessible for searching, for looking through your video, just like smart motion detection. And then some other additional things that metadata SDK allows developers to do is return events like Sean has been showing you. When specific events have been identified by the third-party analytic, you can send those back to NX. There are some context actions that we can send from the object tab. So you can go in, which Sean is going to show you here in a second, I think, which is you can go in and search. You can ask for additional information from that third-party analytic solution, and it can return that to you. And then additionally, we're developing the ability to stream continuous real-time data. And then the plugin settings and configuration, I think, which you guys are familiar with if you've worked with any of the plugins. You have the opportunity to go in and configure that plugin on the system level to allow the two systems to talk to each other. So I just want to make sure everybody understands how that architecture actually works, right? So you install a plugin on the server application itself. Each different plugin that we have installs exactly the same way. Really, the difference comes in terms of what it does and then how it's configured to connect to the system. So that's my piece that I want to make sure that everybody's familiar with. And back over to you, Sean.
Thank you for giving me a 5 minutes break. I really appreciate it. All right, so let me just jump back there to let you know what is this slide all about. All right, so what the library does is that it can search for, you can see here in the Nx interface here, we can search for over 50 items we've uploaded inside the Nx VMS into your GUI in the client. So you can just click here and all the records are already archived in your recording bar under the meta tab. Okay, so Matt was asking, do you do guns? Yes, guns will be inside here. In fact, we have another 20 items that we're going to load, but on the first version, I'm just going to show you these 35 items that is inside the bar here. Okay, so face recognition, LPR, objects, all thrown inside the library here. In the next 3 versions, we are going to even put actions. The neurolytics will be inside here as well. So not only you can look for objects, you can look for fall down, violence, and everything. So you have a one GUI, one client settings for everything. Okay. Tony was asking just now, where do you do the configuration? Okay, for library, it's very, very straightforward. Okay, first and foremost, you need to come to a configuration page where you start to tick all the items you want to put inside the NX, and it's done. Okay, so every camera will be empowered with all these items you choose, and then the next thing you get to do is just search. Okay, I'm going to show you a live demo, so you're going to see how it's going to work very soon. Okay, so I'm just going to jump to the next thing. So setting up in NX, very simple. Just go system administration, click the plugin. If you install the DII plugin, throw the Genesis library file name down there, apply, enable that camera, generate the events, and apply. So that camera has all the items that you connected in. You see, and meta is just right in here, right? It just jumps up right on the screen. Okay. So before I go to the live demo, I just want to show you the 3 different license models we have. Okay, basically you get everything in the Genesis search, all the items, the data library, that you will see later, it's all inside. So everything is in the basic license. If you require some face recognition license plate, or you want to do the social distancing intrusion zone, you just have to add on that addition in. So for example, you want to do social distancing, get the Genesis search basic core plus intrusion zone. You see the last license there, and it's done, right? So if you don't want any face recognition license plate or intrusion zone, just the basic core, you get everything, and you can use it.
So Sean, what's in basic?
Basic core is 50 different items.
So it's objects.
Sorry?
Is it objects only, or is it people as well?
Objects only. Objects only. People, objects. Nothing to do with face. Face, gender is not inside. So face and gender, you need to get the face recognition.
So it will recognize a person and like clothing and things like that, but it won't recognize it won't do anything with identity.
Yeah, right? Identity, no. Just the person, the shape of the person. Yeah.
So face recognition is a separate license, and license plate recognition is a separate license, and then the if you wanted to do social distancing detection or distance detection or objects detection, then that would be the intrusion zones, right?
Yes, correct. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
So
Basically,
if you want all of them, you have to buy all 4 licenses per camera. Is that right?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you need to buy all 4 of it. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Any questions on this? Or not? I'm just going to jump straight into the live demo.
Which is what people came here for, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I want to show. So I want to get past this PPT and just jump right in the demo. All right, so I got an Nx system here. Let me open it up on my laptop. So I got an indoor and outdoor camera here. You see all the meta. If you click object, you see all the meta objects are here located. You can click any type. Okay, before I start this, I just want to show you an example of how to do your settings. All right. If you see Genesis data here, you can go to the start here and you see all these 35 items will appear here, right? Let me give you a better clarity. So if you click face, car, license plate, cell phone, laptop, backpack, umbrella, these 5 items you select will be hardcore set to be thrown into the NX all the time for these 2 cameras. So you don't need to do it individually. You just have to click this and it's done. All right. So for my demo purpose, I'm going to just click a few because I don't want to overload my computer or server. So I just click a few like license plate, cell phone, laptops, umbrellas, backpack, cars, and maybe a plant, which I'm going to show you, right? So when that's done, sorry.
Quick question. It says data retention days at the top. What does that mean?
Data retention day is the data retention day in the library. Okay, it's how many days we store it in the library, the metadata details. But these details,
which library?
The Senturian library.
Oh, so inside of Nx Witness, or is that something that's just for?
No, not in Nx Witness. It's
so external data library, right?
External, yeah. But you see, when the meta is read, we will actually send it to Nx, so it will be in Nx. So the main meta that you're going to store, it is in Nx. What the Senturian library does is just a backup. If you want it to be 30 days, you increase it 30 days. Yeah,
gotcha.
You got me?
So basically, the metadata that's being sent back to Network Optix is going to be stored in the video archive along with the video footage, right? And as long as you have had Genesis running, that metadata is going to be stored next to the video. Even if Genesis stops running, you'll still have all the existing videos metadata
in NX.
Storage. So you don't have to worry about losing that data. As long as you got the video, you got the metadata too, right?
Yeah. Right. Yesterday when I was speaking to one of our New Zealand partners, they want a double backup. So I can put 30 days inside the Senturian library as well as backup. But that depends on your configuration redundancy you want to do, but you have double redundancy on metadata information. Because Senturian library, when we get the meta, we'll throw it immediately to Nx and store inside Nx. Everything is in Nx. We want to keep it that way, that simple, that you get everything in Nx. Okay, so I'm going to run an example now. Okay, let's look for a car on this camera, and you see that all the cars will turn up off the camera down here. Notice that we can search by time, camera, even the zone. Okay, so let's say I want to search. So this is on the 26th. You know, maybe I want to search for another time. Use the NX scroll bar here. You see all the records are here. If you can see at the bottom, this is the 26th. Maybe you say I want to search for a car on the 25th instead because this is a car park.
Hey, John, can you minimize your window a little bit? We can't see the timeline right now. It's covered by the Zoom window.
Okay. Let me see.
Just make it a little bit less tall. There you go.
Okay. Can you see now? Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? How about this? Does it look nice now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you see, this is 26. So maybe I want to search for a car on the 26th. in this place where this blue car is. So just select any time, just highlight this in the NX. So you're going to search for meta records in this specific time. For only cars that appear in this time will appear, and you can even select by area. So area, time, type of car in selected area, and you see the meta all comes out here. So you just come here, you see this zone here, you have another car down here, right? You just fast forward, you can see all the cars coming in this zone. And so
you could add a another. So if you wanted to add white to that, would you just go to the search bar and type in white?
Yes, we never input in colors in this version, but colors will come out next week. So but now you can even search for license plate, gender, and different attributes. You can search for multi criteria in this column actually by the end of this month. Yeah, that's the official launch. Yeah. So yes, good question. Yes, you can search by colors because for the Senturian library, we have actually characterized colors in every item. If you see here, black, you see, blue.
It's kind of purple though, isn't it?
Now, it's a general color, like off red, off white, right? Okay. So, okay, besides cars, we can even search for stuff like license plate. So if you click on license plate, you get all the license plate here, all turning up over the time. Okay, so you can even search for license plate. That's already, the attribute is already inside. So let me search for license plate because there's a, okay, we support all the English character. So if you have English character like in Australia, where a lot of our friends here come from, yeah, it's all supported. New Zealand, US. So you see, A2, I got this guy down here. So you just have to key in your license plate. You can get all the cars with that license plate down here. There are a lot of records from days. If you want to search by day, just go to the anytime and just highlight this in the toolbar. Oh wait, let me minimize it. Maybe you can't see it. Yeah. Just highlight it in the toolbar here, and the records are all here. So you can play around. You see all these yellow things here are all the records of cars that go inside this area. All right. So that day we were testing with in the car park with one of our colleagues. So we actually selected a area here, and we select another item, maybe a backpack, and we want to see backpacks that come up in this area. We move the camera outdoors and indoors, so all the backpack that come out in this area will appear on the right here. Okay, that's what's inside. Let me find an outdoor one for you. No data. So that's where it's inside because we move the camera in and out, in and out. So you get all the data here. You can play with it, and you can even search by area. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Let's search for another item, maybe an umbrella. You see this guy with umbrella here.
Are you running all this on your laptop?
Yes, I'm running on my laptop now. Yeah.
Everything?
Yep. No,
okay.
Not everything.
Not everything.
Which part you're talking about? Yeah. The client, the app. Yeah. Can you please clarify what you actually mean by that? You're asking me whether I'm running the client on my laptop.
You're running the client. You're running the client on your laptop. The server is running on what?
The server is not. The server is running in the background. We have a Genesis server here.
Okay.
Right.
Can you pull that server into the interface so we can see what the CPU usage and everything is on it? Just grab it and drag it in.
The server is not here. It's a Genesis server, so it's
I know. Just grab it and drag it in.
Grab it and drag it in.
Yeah, just grab the server and throw it on top of that camera.
Oh wait, let me see how I do that.
Just literally left click on the server and drag it into the interface. The server name. See server desktop 3051 DK3. There you go. There you go. So basically, this server is running the analytic and the server. Is that right?
Yep.
So it's running at 30% CPU right now. Your RAM is about 30%. Okay. Question is, what is the hardware that is needed to run Genesis?
Okay, you need a minimum basic specs, 1050 GPU and above, and the
NVIDIA.
minimum, yes, and the minimum you can go is i5. It's done.
So you need an i5 CPU,
yeah,
an NVIDIA 1050
yeah,
or higher GPU.
yeah, correct. Yes.
And
But
how much RAM?
8 RAM will do. Yeah.
8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
And that's the minimum. And
Yep.
how many cameras would you be able to do with that setup?
16.
16.
Yes.
Okay. So once you get to like an NVIDIA 1080, you're looking at like double that, like 32 or?
Yeah, you're gonna get more and more. I have the hardware specs that I can share. If anyone is more interested, later I will show you all the different configurations.
So Genesis is GPU based, right?
Yep.
And NX, any powered by NX system is going to be CPU based. So the GPU is going to be left to the analytic. So Genesis is going to be running its analytics on a GPU. Michael asked a question, so I'm just answering him live, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, for specific project quotations, they can contact you, right?
Yes. In fact, we have a lot of our Australian friends here that I see today down here, and a lot of them are all around the world. I see a lot of familiar faces. You can contact me, and I can direct you to one of our partners in that local country or community, because we have like partners in more than 22 places now. Yeah, but you can contact me first. Yeah, no problem. All right. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to say point another thing out. In our system, in the Genesis system of the Senturian data library, we do not store video. Okay, this is something always a common question people ask me. We do not store video, so our hard drive, where we contain all the meta records, is very minimal. We just use 4 terabytes or 6 terabytes, we are done. All right. In fact, we even use lesser because it's just all meta records.
How about, I mean, let's say you have 30 days of metadata storage. How big of a database is that?
I think it's the safe. For safe, we will say 8 terabytes, but actually we can use 4 terabytes, done.
But do you have any idea in terms of like the size of like your typical metadata database that's being generated from like 30 days of video for a single camera?
Yeah, we have. It's about 3 terabytes or less. Yeah, depends on how much, because every input, every metadata, some is big, some is small. Because but it's all just data strings, and it's just like there's no storage, nothing. It's just like codes, or so it's just a string. So it's very, very minimal. Yeah.
3 terabytes seems like a lot.
I'm just doing conservative, but if you want a real calculator, it's even less than that. I'm sure. I don't have the right figure from you, but the point is to let you know that the meta doesn't use a minimal storage. You don't have to worry about that.
Extremely lightweight, so like that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. So basically,
Michael had a question: is all the data processed in real time or upon request?
It's all real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all real time, because you see just now when I click all those items, it goes into Nx real time, and then you just select what you want here. Okay, so for example, umbrella, see? So all this, you just select what you want. In real time, everything is going into Nx as we speak. Later, I'll show you how to run a real alarm live as well. Okay.
Let me explain something too. So Michael, when an analytic like this is integrated via the metadata SDK, the general purpose is to do real-time analytics and return real-time data as quickly as possible so that events can be identified and that you can create rules inside of Nx Witness VMS or any other powered by Nx product, which will allow you to generate alerts or send emails or do recording or a lot of different things, move a PTZ camera. All of those things are configurable on your side. What Genesis and other third-party analytics that Snap-on do is they're just analyzing the frames of video that are being sent to them and returning that metadata. So it's really up to you, the user, to define what to do with that information as it comes back into the system. So you can create rules that trigger specific actions in the system, but the metadata itself will not generate like specific events other than in the objects tab, which is what Sean's showing you right now, right? So all the object information as it's being recognized comes into that objects tab. But typically a user is not going to be on that objects tab all the time. What they're going to do is they're going to be on the notifications tab. So Sean, if you click on the notifications on the little notifications part of there you go. So in the notifications panel, that is where you're going to see alerts, right? Because you don't want to see every bit of metadata that's being generated by these systems. It's overwhelming, right? As Sean's showing you, you're constantly getting information coming into the system. It's not necessarily relevant information, right? The stuff that's relevant is you want to be notified, for example, if you have a factory. In the US, meat processing plants right now are having a big problem with COVID outbreaks. So let's say you have a meat packing plant and you want to be notified when an employee enters the facility not wearing a mask, right? That's what's important. It's not that you want to check every single employee and confirm they have masks, but you don't care if they're wearing a mask because they're following the rules, right? You're looking for aberrations or for events that you need to monitor. And so you would create a rule that says, if no mask is detected, bring that up and force an acknowledgement, because that way an operator or one of the guards has to go and find this person and say, put on your mask, right? Or get out of the facility. So that's really what, that's why most of these analytics are nearly, I'm going to say all of them, all the analytics are real time, right? The search capabilities that you're seeing is a result of the fact that we have that object metadata database that we put in version 4.0. And so as this metadata is being sent back to Nx Witness VMS or another powered by Nx product, it's being stored right next to the video archive. And you can actually set where you want that metadata to be stored. You can put it on like a network attached storage device if you want to, just to make sure you're always keeping it. Or you can put it on your local server drive. It's really up to you guys where you want to store that data. From our perspective, what we're doing is just integrating those two things together seamlessly. So just like with smart motion detection, when you go and you search, a year's worth of data in less than a second for motion on the specific pixels, you can do the same thing with the metadata that's being generated by third-party analytics like Senturians, Genesis, or Neurolytics. So it's really up to you guys to configure what to do with this metadata. We're just gathering it and making sure it's sitting next to the video so it can be searched and so that you can create rules. So.
I will show you a live alarm to help Tony later on when you can do it. I will show a live alarm of an umbrella and a backpack live. So when Sasha will just put it out. So I will show you how to do one here later. Very simple. It's just one click of a button, right? So yeah, sorry. Please, I just interrupt that a bit. Yeah.
Oh no, back to you, Sean.
Okay, so I will show you how to do alarm later on in the end. After I just finish the type, let's just go through this type. So I brought the camera indoors now, okay, to live stream. I have my colleague Sasha there to help. So I just want to run, in the office, we have a lot of items. I just want to run an example of a plant, okay. We have a plant here in the office. So all the plants will turn up in this camera, but I want to highlight how you use this area select to do a lot of, to use it effectively. So let's say I want to see if there's a plant here on this little table on the left. I just click it here and you see all the plants of this appear here. Okay, Sasha went to put a plant here earlier in the day, right? So maybe I want to find a plant a different place, maybe on the bottom here. Who puts a plant on the floor? And there is one here. You run some tests, you see the records are all here, or even, and you see all these yellow bars are where the records of where the plant comes out. In this box here in the meta records, or if I want to select another area, maybe on this table here behind, see a mini plant here. Can you see that at the back here? I don't know if you can see on your screen. Yeah. Very small. See plant colors yellow and black. Yeah. So we can use this select area to select meta all over the places, and not only in a specific location. So just a few more tests before I run the alarms. Let's say if we search for a mobile phone, you can see all the mobile phone appearing on this selected camera. I'm just going to maybe jump down and just fast forward to this yesterday's data. Okay, to people using mobile phones. So anyone who comes with a mobile phone, okay, will be highlighted here. We ran some tests yesterday, and that's why there's a lot of people holding up mobile phones like you see here. But actually, if you just do it normally with a mobile phone, it does show up. Let me see if I can find something today when I'm using a mobile
phone. John, I have a general question. How big does an object need to be recognized?
It's very small. You look at this. If I put a mobile phone on the table here, you see this record, it's recognized. If you're using a 720 or 1080p camera, we can pick it up at a very small, even like
do you have any
you see
here, like mini pixel count?
Yeah, we don't actually have I think a right size will be, I'll give you the pixel, how big the minimal pixel is that we can pick up. But actually, if anything, there is clarity in even a small apple or pen, we can pick it up. But I think mobile phone is about there as almost the smallest thing already. But if you go smaller than that, it needs to be seen clearly, the shape. Okay, before we can pick it up.
You don't have like a specific pixels count for like the size of an object, like 100 pixels or 24.
No, we do it by the shape. Yeah. Even for the neurolytics, we also do it by the shape and the box. But then there is a minimal, but I will have to get back on that. I have to check what is the minimal. And it's a good question. Let's put it at the side here, and please remind me about that. And if who's asking this question, maybe I can send you an email.
I am.
When I click Sam. Okay. So
it's my question because I'm interested in what the level of pixel density. So for example, is Genesis designed to work with existing installed cameras, or would integrators need to adjust their camera views to make sure they're getting all the correct objects?
Okay, Genesis, you can install it on your current camera, but of course we do recommend it. We have an installation, what do you call that, best practice that we still encourage you to go above 2 meters, 2.5 meters to get a good view. For objects, basically, as long as we can see clarity, we can see. It's different from facial recognition. Okay, facial recognition.
Would a good rule of thumb be if you can recognize it in the video, then Genesis should also be able to recognize?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. See, we know this is a handphone. We know this is a laptop, and we can see it very clearly. So you as long as you can see it clearly inside the camera, there's no reason why we can't pick it up, you know.
Okay, so if a human can see it, then Genesis should also be able to recognize it.
Yeah, okay, see this is a backpack, right? You can see it. So obviously, if it's a backpack, you definitely can see it. You definitely can catch it. You know, I mean, it's a small backpack, but it has to be clear. You know, sometimes if you have a black color and, you know, you're wearing black and you put it together, you know, and it jumbles up the color, you know, and maybe it's not clear, then of course we can't really identify it 100%. But usually, by rule of thumb, if you can see clearly in the camera, it's all about clarity, and then we can catch it. and it can be analyzed, right?
So if you can recognize it in a video, then Genesis should be able to recognize it as well.
Yeah, precisely. And another question about what cameras do you need? Okay, we don't care about the cameras. The rule of thumb is if you can connect to Nx Witness, we can analyze it. Okay, but please use a 720p and above. We have tried with even D1 resolution, it still works, but the results may not be so good. Okay, we hope that you at least have an IP camera of 720p and above. I think that's quite reasonable nowadays with all this technology. So yeah, so please use that. Yeah.
Question came in, Sean. Licenses, are they subscription based or are they a one-time fee?
They are one-time fee.
They're one-time fee.
Now. Yeah.
And is there support fees associated with it?
Okay, it's one-time fee and it's yours forever. Okay. For example, now we have these 50 algorithms inside. It's all yours forever, right? But we give you 1 year of free updates. That means we'll keep uploading new items or new algorithms. But let's say in 5 years' time, there may be 100 algorithms. So we can't give you free forever. But at that point of time, if you want to upgrade from your current 50 to 100, you just pay a 20% fee and we upgrade you. There's no support fee. It's just
there's a 20% fee when you want to upgrade to the latest algorithms after 1 year. Is that right?
Yes, precisely. Yes. Or not, the version is yours forever. Yeah. Right?
If the pricing of the different licenses you had there earlier, you had basic, you had face recognition, LPR, are they all consistent or are they different variable pricing based off the feature?
There's different prices. Okay, basically everything gets the basic search here, right? So if you get facial recognition, it's just facial recognition on top of this basic search.
Okay, so basic is always included once you if you get one of the higher level licenses.
Yes, that's the core. Yeah, the core is the basic. So you get the core for everything, and then if you, let's say you add a face recognition on top, so you get face recognition with the basic. Okay, so now I'm picking up the face recognition. So this is how the face recognition license looks. Sorry, that's a Sunday when I'm testing the system. Yeah, sorry, my short C I was testing. So that's Sasha. So this is the face recognition system. You get a face recognition license. You get all the types plus the face recognition. So that's the basic core, the types you see just now, right? So this face recognition. Okay. So let me see. If there's no more questions, let me show you how to do alarm. All right, an alarm. Do you want to see alarm, a live alarm? I'll show you how the alarm works now.
Sure, we got about 8 more minutes. So if anybody has any questions, please go ahead.
There's so much more things to show you, but I just want to show you, how the alarm works. Okay, so you know that here we can have all the items inside. It's really loaded inside. So I'm going to get Sasha to help with the alarm. When we do the alarm, we just right-click, go to camera rules, and we see we already put in all the alarms inside here in generic events. So as much alarms as you can. And how you know which alarms to set it, we really create captions. So if you put umbrella, the umbrella alarm will come up. If you put mobile phone, the mobile phone alarm will come up. Backpack, the backpack alarm will come up. So how you want to do an umbrella alarm, just click umbrella and apply. And it's done, right? So Sasha, can you show umbrella, please? So when Sasha shows umbrella, alarm.
You know that's unlucky.
Yeah, okay, so there's live alarm. Of course, the records are still going inside the meta. Forever, the records are going to meta. Now we're just pulling out the alarms to give you a live alarm. So if let's close that alarm, if you don't want that alarm, just go to camera rules and shut it off. It's as simple as that. We make it so easy for you now. All right, and so let's say you want to do this mobile backpack. Okay, apply. Backpack, Sasha comes, backpack. As simple as that. So does that answer that question just now on live alarms?
So I have a question, Sean.
Yep.
The events that are coming in right now are being generated as generic events from Genesis, right?
Precisely. No. Just now earlier I was mentioning Genesis throws all the events to the NX, and so it's generated all the way like the events that you choose just now when I do my ticks, right? Those events are are automatically generated. When you want to do the alarms, you just have to tag it with the right description here.
But
and the alarm,
you do it using generic event, not analytics
yeah,
event.
it will be analytic. Yeah, this for
Okay.
test purposes. Yeah, in the release version, it will be analytic, not generic. Yeah. For now, I'm just
Hang on.
I was
Slow down a little bit, Sean. Slow down a little bit. Go back. Right.
Okay.
Go back to the rules. So what I'm talking about, guys, is generic event, if you're not familiar, is a way to send a third-party event to Nx Witness or to any Powered by Nx product using our server API. It's called a Create Event API call. We call it generic event. And so it's just a HTTP or an HTTPS request that gets pointed at your server. And then it has attached metadata. And so in that, you can basically do it from anything. Anything that supports sending generic HTTP events can then send an event to Nx Witness or other Powered by Nx products. And when that occurs, generic events have a default setting which says show a notification if a generic event comes in. So when you're setting up one, you basically will see all the generic events come in. But if you want to have attached information, like you want to have a camera screenshot of the event, then you need to add some additional metadata. And that's what these guys have done. They've created generic events that are being sent that populate the camera metadata and then include some captions and descriptions that you can use to then create a rule. So the alternative to this with the metadata SDK is when you have a plugin like Senturian Neurolytics, you'll see analytics event. An analytics event can be used for in-camera analytics where it's supported. So if you've looked at like Hikvision or Axis or Dahua, a bunch of different brands right now we support in-camera analytics for. And basically use the analytics event to do that because it's basically generating that generic event, but we call it analytics event because it's coming from a system that has an integration as opposed to just using a generic API call. So when the analytics event, what Sean is talking about is Genesis is going to be, it's being integrated with the metadata SDK, which is why you can do the search in the objects tab and why that metadata is being stored in the metadata database inside of Nx Witness. And so right now, because it's in development phase, he's showing generic event and he's showing that you're filtering based off of like the description, the metadata that's coming in the description of the generic event. With the analytics event, it's going to work almost the same way. The only difference is you'll select analytics event instead of generic event for creating those rules when the released version comes out. So I just want to make sure you guys know the difference. A generic event is generic because it could come from anything, okay? And an analytics event is not generic because it's coming from something that has been fully integrated using the metadata SDK. So because this is still in development, they're using generic event. But when this is launched, in terms of putting it out there, right? You guys will have the
analytic event. Everything is in analytic event. Yeah. Just tell you about the bit about the launch before we still have time. With the end of the month, what we're going to do is that we're going to put generic event, and you can search by keywords here. Now, if you search by name and gender, it's here. Sean, you see, Sean, male, you can put keywords here, and it will search all the metadata for records. In the release, you can search by colors. You can search by multiple criteria like car, black, car red, and everything will be an analytic event, and that'll be released at the end month. That'll be version 1. We're gonna throw this out in the market. And this is a preview, and I hope you guys like it. But the version will be out, like what Tony says, it will be all analytic events. Yeah.
Lotto brought up an interesting point on the question and answer. Just saying, from a configuration point of view, it's always better to know the minimum pixel size per object because that can be converted using pixel density metrics. Which, when you're designing a system, it'll allow you to really tailor make the camera views to make sure you're getting the right pixel densities, right? There's a lot of tools out there that allow you to plan systems these days. Having that pixel density or knowing the minimum size for different objects allows people to develop better for pixel densities, right?
Yeah.
James asked a question as well. Will the description always be free text, or will you provide a drop-down menu? So, James,
Both.
in the
Yeah.
analytic event, if you're doing it in the rules engine right now, like we showed earlier, it's free text right now because it's coming in as a generic event. Once it's been integrated as an analytic event, then Senturian would have the option to do things like create drop downs and stuff like that in the rules engine to allow you to kind of select the object. For right now, though, it's still free text. And in terms of search, object search, it's going to be at least in the short term, it'll be text-based object search. But as Sean is showing you, with the way that Senturian has done the integration, you can also do the drop down. So you could just choose it right from the objects.
We are going to do two actually when I release. So you can select by drop down here, and it's free text keywords here. So both will be available to you. Like how I search for Sean Mill, colors will be in here. You can search for back and multiple criteria. As long as it's the attributes is inside the meta, you can search here and it will come out. So that will be the actual release. So you can do all your searches from the keywords. But if you have too much keywords, you can select the type and you can just jump straight to where all the meta is by type. Okay. So that can be done also, right? Okay. So you have that as an option.
You guys have a bear. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we are bear. Okay, we have guns, we have bears, we have actually and the new version, we even have cars by make, model, and color. And so there's a lot of things coming in. Stay tuned. And
yeah.
So yeah.
We're just hitting the 1 hour mark here. I know some other guys have to jump on different meetings.
All right.
Calls, but you know, generally, guys, you can see the what I like to call Google for the real world is getting closer and closer. Kind of every release of these different analytics and every new release of Nx Witness VMS and Nx Meta. So, you know, this is pretty powerful stuff. Even its kind of infant form right now, right? Just the ability to go through and look at all the different attributes of people and objects that you're going to be detecting with kind of standard security cameras. You know, 5 years ago, this would have made all of our heads explode. So the fact that we can now kind of show this in a real world environment, it really gives you guys the opportunity to create really custom solutions for your customers, right? And to show them, you know, what the value of using a joined solution like this, seamlessly integrated solution like this is. Because really it's just a matter of how much do you want to know from your video, right? It can be used for security applications. It can be used for logistics and management. It can be used for production monitoring. There's all sorts of different kind of applications of this technology. And as we go along, I think, Sean, you probably feel the same way. You're going to see these libraries expand so that the amount of objects and further to that, the relationship between the objects, like you saw in the zone setup that Sean did with the social distancing, all those things are becoming kind of readily available for you to really go in and create, you know, solutions that blow your customer's mind. And as you guys know, you know, solutions that are tailored for customers and that they find really useful, just guarantee you're going to continue doing business with that customer, and you're going to be able to expand your presence with that customer. So to me, this is really impressive stuff. I look forward to seeing it when it's in released form. Sean, your email address, can you pull up the end of the presentation so they can see how to contact you?
Let me just type it in here. This is my email.
Oh, you clicked the PowerPoint already, huh?
All right, there you go.
And they can also just go to Senturian Solutions, right? And contact
you can go on our webpage, and all the videos are there, and you can see all the stuff we do there. Just for your knowledge, I'm going to run this Senturian data library on a live shopping mall on a Singapore road very soon. So we're going to go live, and we're going to record videos and show you guys. I just got clearance to use those public cameras because Matt gave me a very good suggestion yesterday to do something live instead of in my office. So we're gonna do that, a more awesome video, and we're gonna put it live. So stay tuned for that. Yep, it'll be out
All right.
soon. Yep.
Well, thank you everybody for your time today or this evening, depending on where you are this morning. And the email address, Jitendra, is in the chat window. It's Sean Tom at Senturian Solutions.com. Let me put it for you. There you go. I just threw it into the answer question. And the presentation and the video, Sean, I'm going to share my screen now.
Yep. So I'm going to stop share. Yep. Okay. Stop share.
Yeah. So if you go to my.networkoptics.com, just a second, I'll pull it up. Can you guys see my thing here? So if you go to my.networkoptics.com and you go to webinars, then all of our past webinars are here. And Centurion's old one is here, right? So you can see the old presentation and Sean looking good. And the new one will be up here shortly. But every single one of our webinars, including our solution webinars, which are local market webinars for the different markets we serve out there, will be up here. And the presentation will be there, and contact information will be there as well. So Sean's email is actually already here, SeanTom@CenturianSolutions.com, and you can, this is from his neurolytics presentation we did back in November of last year. So, all right. Thank you all very much. Hope you guys have a good evening or morning or afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sean.
Yes. And see you guys again soon.
Reach out to Sean if you have any questions, or reach out to your local Nx sales representatives, depending on your market. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, guys.